Hey guys, welcome. So it's Ajay Joel and this is Climber. Today I'll be talking about how to grow your audience to thousands of people. And the reason why I made this how to grow your audience to thousands of people not specific is this applies to any social media platform, any platform whatsoever. It could apply to if you're running a blog, if you're running a YouTube channel, if you're running like a YouTube channel, like if you're running a vlog or just normal content on YouTube. If this is also social media, you can grow it to thousands of audience. Now, I'm not going to really dwell so much on social media parts, and that's because I am not really a social media freak aside WhatsApp. But there's still how this thing works on WhatsApp. But if we're going to be talking about blogging or making videos or LinkedIn, yes. So the same strategy actually applies for all of these platforms altogether. So let's talk about blogging. Blogging is not so difficult, and it's like one of the best ways where you can actually grow your audience to thousands and thousands of people. Firstly, the last video I made, you can go watch it. I shared on how you can start your blogging career or blogging ambition. If your hand has always been itching you to write, like you feel you have a lot of things to share, the best platform I would recommend anybody to use, which I use, is Medium. Medium, I would recommend that you don't use try to create your own blogging website. Most times people always go for that, but if I would give my own opinion or my own advice, don't go create your own blogging website like let's say you're writing and you're like doctors.com. The reason is this: one, you have to go through the stress of creating a domain, or you create your own domain. You would have to design it to look attractive. Now, that designing is actually where the work is. Or if you know how to use templates, you can go and create your own blogging platform, and put your own domain and design everything. But if you don't want to go through all those stress, just go to Medium. Although using Medium also has its downside because you cannot get much of reach. Medium does not have SEO too. I don't think Medium has SEO. If you're using your own personal blog, you can use SEO for it and it will scale. But I don't think Medium has SEO. But with Medium, you can still actually scale, because once you write on Medium, medium.com, if you don't know what Medium is, medium.com, just go explore there. You can just be consistently reading articles. Although when Medium started, it was free for any type of article, but now they make some articles restricted except you pay the monthly Medium subscription of $5. But you can create your own profile and start sharing. It's well designed, the interface is nice, the interface is good, and then begin to share your content to different social media platforms. You can share it on your WhatsApp audience, you can share it to Facebook audience, you can share it, put it on your bio on any platform. But the few things you need to do if you want to get your first 1,000 followers or 1,000 audience is that you need to first push out what you know. Now, a lot of people have this I am not good enough mindset when it comes to giving out value. Nobody's ever good enough. And this comes as a result of the fact that you're scared of people criticizing you, you're scared of people saying what you're doing is not good, people attacking you. If you have all those fears or you have all those things that setbacks, most times you might actually not get to scale. You will not be able to dish out the first thing you want people to know. You will not even make it perfect. You want it to definitely be perfect, but the fear of perfection or the crave of perfection is the beginning of not dishing out everything. So this is how I do mine. I go to Medium, I write my articles using Google Doc, and then the next thing I do is I just go copy it and paste on Medium and publish it. Immediately I publish it, that's when I now go back to begin to edit, where are the errors. I immediately publish. I don't edit on my Google Drive, because by the time I'm editing it, at some point I'll feel like this thing is not valuable enough. Will people read it? This thing is looking really, really tacky. This thing is looking really abstract and absurd. I can't push this thing. then I end up not publishing it, and you can just keep repeating the same thing. This happens to me even when I'm making videos, not for blogs. For blogs, I've overcome that. For blogs, I just like when I start watching myself again, and sometimes I feel like I'm not going to like push out this content, and then I don't push it out. So I just publish on Medium, and then I work towards editing. So the first thing you need to do is just push out whatever you have, and ensure that you have dealt with the fear of rejection, fear of criticisms. Criticisms are actually good. If people don't criticize what you're doing, you will not grow. People would criticize you, although there's constructive and destructive criticism. You would receive either of them. You just need to learn to handle them. Destructive criticism can affect your ego, can affect your confidence, but you don't need to pay attention to destructive criticism. Pay attention to the constructive criticisms and work on it. Then two, what you need to do is you need to focus on consistency. Consistency is actually a marketing strategy on its own, because once you push out something, people will believe that, oh, this is valuable. And then they forget about you because you're not coming back to give them continuous stuff from what you're doing. So once you send it again, the next thing is they now begin to anticipate the next content you share, and by that time they are actually ready to want to read your content or watch your video or actually see the designs you make, and then you will want to share it, which will lead me to the third point. But the first thing is push out what you know. Then the next thing is you have to be consistent, and I use a consistency map. I might share this in the description of this video. The consistency map is not, it's just like a template I created using Google Doc. I don't know how to use Microsoft Excel, else I would have used Microsoft Excel, but it's a table I used for my consistency map where I scheduled every of the things that I want to do. Like if you don't have a to-do list, most times you might not be consistent when it comes to giving out value, whether it's blog, whether it's videos, whether it's voice, podcast, whichever way. You might not be consistent with giving out value because you don't have what you're using to track what you're doing or to ensure that you do something at a particular time. So I have a template that I use. I know what I am to do per day, per time, and it might sound like routine-ish, but it helps because with the moment you begin to do things randomly, you might have that issue with you want to monitor your progress. You might not be able to track what you're doing, track where you're moving, track your progress, and that might be really, really disastrous. So first thing, start. Two, consistency. I would share the link. Now I've made up my mind. I'm going to share the link with you, and then you will see my own table. Then number three, what you need to do is to figure out how to market your content. Now, a lot of people don't focus on all of these things. You know, most times people will say with consistency, one day you will blow. I don't believe that. I believe that with consistency, you can actually spend 10 years and you eventually not still succeed because you're not focusing on the right thing. You're not ensuring you're trying to figure out how your content can be distributed. Distribution is the very, very important and most important ingredient in content creation and giving out value. You're giving out value in written form, in video form, or whichever way. Or like, you know, remember we were talking about how to get your first 1,000 audience. Distribution is king. If you're writing an article, you need to figure out how you can distribute what you want to do, and you have to be creative about it. You've written on Medium. How do you bring people down to Medium? Now go to Twitter, go make threads on Twitter. Make those threads on Twitter and let people come down from Twitter to read it. Like make like short threads on Twitter, and then it brings people down to your blog. You also do designs, post on Instagram, like do snippets. Post on Instagram and tell people to go complete it by following the link in your bio. You can actually write threads, links of threads on your WhatsApp status, and then at the end, you tell people to go watch listen to the rest or watch the rest via the link in your bio. That is distribution. If you cannot figure out distribution in whatever you're doing, you will keep creating tons of content and not scale. So because of this, I'm going to be like creating a video on how to do distribution, but it's not going to be anytime soon. I'll be talking about distribution for whatever you're doing. It might be that you're actually, whatever you're doing, distribution is like the key and principal ingredient. Else you will just be so valuable and people would not know you. Distribution is like part of marketing. Distribution is a marketing model, and in marketing you need to figure out how people will come to you or how you will get to go meet people. One of those two things. Some people try to only strategize on how people will come to them, but you can actually also strategize on how you can actually go meet people. but I'm going to be making a video on that too as well. But the 3 things you don't need to forget, you don't need to overlook is 1, start immediately, then 2, be consistent, then 3, you need to figure out distribution. How do you get what you're giving out distributed? How do you get what you're giving out to reach millions of people? Now, distribution could actually involve marketing and also sales. Sales means you're running adverts, you're trying to go convince people that what you're doing is really valuable and stuff like that. Marketing is like you're trying to build trust, you're trying to build influence, you want people to just keep seeing you. That's marketing. So if you've learned a lot from this, I want you to subscribe to this channel, this Climber channel, turn on post notification, and you'll be notified with an SMS, and you'll be notified with not an SMS, you'll be notified with an email. Like if you subscribe to the Climber website, climber.xyz, you'll be notified through the email because you automatically get an email. But if you subscribe on YouTube channel, YouTube will notify you once a new video pops up, and then you keep enjoying the value that you're getting from the Climber website or from the Climber platform. So my name is Ajayi Joel, and I believe you've learned from this. Share this with your friends. They also need information like this. Let's try to close in, shorten, or bridge the job gap, so we encourage people to do things that are beneficial to them, and we ensure that they grow and scale in whatever industry they find themselves.